The Federer-Nadal rivalry is between two professional tennis players, Roger Federer of Switzerland and Rafael Nadal of Spain. They are currently engaged in a storied rivalry, which many consider to be one of the greatest in tennis history. They have played 33 times, most recently in the 2014 Australian Open semi-finals, and Nadal leads their 10-year-old rivalry 23-10. Federer and Nadal are the only pair of men to have finished 6 consecutive calendar years as the top 2 ranked players on the ATP Tour, which they did from 2005-2010. This included a record 211 consecutive weeks sharing the top 2 rankings from July 2005 to August 2009. Nadal has won 13 of their 15 encounters on clay courts and 9 of their 15 encounters on hard court, whereas Federer has won 2 out of their 3 meetings on grass courts. Because tournament seedings are based on rankings, with the top 2 seeds placed on opposite sides of the draw, 20 of their 33 matches have been in tournament finals, including an all-time record 8 Grand Slam finals and 10 Masters Series finals. Another 9 of their matches have been semi-finals, 2 have been quarter-finals, with only 2 taking place before the last 8 stage. In 26 matches out of 33 between Nadal and Federer, the winner of the first set won the match. From 2006 to 2008 they played in every French Open and Wimbledon final. Their 2008 Wimbledon final was lauded as the greatest match ever by many long-time tennis analysts. History: 2004 Euro 2005, Federer and Nadal played their first match in March 2004 at the 3rd round of the Miami Masters. Nadal, only 17 years old and ranked number 34 at the time, surprised many by beating the then number 1 in straight sets. Their second meeting was 1 year later, again in Miami, but this time in a best-of-5 set final. Federer recovered from a 2-set deficit to win in 5 sets. He played again 2 months later in the semi-finals of the French Open, which was their first match on clay. Nadal defeated Federer in 4 sets en route to his first Grand Slam title. 2006. In 2006, Nadal and Federer faced each other in 6 matches. Nadal won the first 4, beginning with the Dubai final in February played on hard court. This was Federer's first loss of the year and ended his Open-era record of 56 consecutive wins on hard courts. The clay season ensued, and Nadal continued his dominance on clay, defeating Federer in the finals of the Monte Carlo Masters, the Rome Masters, and the French Open, in what was their first Grand Slam final. Federer won the first set quickly, but Nadal fought back and took the next 3 sets to capture his second French Open title. In the Rome final Federer held a championship point on his serve in the final set tiebreaker but failed to convert. They faced off again a month later in the final of the Wimbledon Championships, which was their first meeting on grass. Federer won in 4 sets to capture his 4th consecutive Wimbledon title. They did not meet again until the semi-finals of the year-end Masters Cup. Federer won in straight sets, en route to his 3rd Masters Cup title in 4 years. At year's end, Nadal's career head-to-head advantage was 6-3. 2007. Nadal and Federer faced each other 5 times in 2007, and Federer won 3 of their matches. For the second straight year, Federer and Nadal played in 3 finals on clay. Nadal won the first meeting in straight sets, winning his 3rd consecutive Monte Carlo title. A few weeks later they met at the Hamburg Masters, where Federer defeated Nadal for the first time on clay and ended his 81-match winning streak on clay. Their next encounter was the French Open final, and Nadal won their much-anticipated rematch in 4 sets, capturing his 3rd consecutive French Open title. Their last 2 meetings in 2007 were also a repeat of 2006, the finals of Wimbledon and the semi-finals of the Masters Cup. Once again, Federer won both matches, though their Wimbledon final lasted 5 sets, instead of the previous year's 4 sets. 2008, Federer and Nadal played 4 times in 2008, and Nadal won all 4 times, extending his career advantage to 12-6. For the 3rd straight year, Federer and Nadal played in 3 clay court finals. Nadal beat Federer in the Monte Carlo Masters for the 3rd straight year, capturing his Open-era record fourth consecutive title there. A few weeks later Nadal avenged his only clay court loss to Federer by defeating him in 3 sets for his first Hamburg Masters title. Federer had double-break leads in the first sets of both Monte Carlo and Hamburg, but his rhythm was thrown off by dubious injury timeouts taken by Nadal when Federer was serving for the sets. Also for the third straight year, he played in the finals of the French Open. Nadal won his fourth consecutive French Open title, in a lopsided 3-set match. Nadal and Federer also met in the finals of Wimbledon for the third straight year, in the most anticipated match of their rivalry. Amidst rain delays, they played the longest final in Wimbledon history, and Nadal captured the title by winning the 5th set in near darkness. This match broke Federer's Open-era record 65-match winning streak on grass, which spanned more than 5 years. 2009. Federer and Nadal played each other only twice in 2009, splitting their matches. Both players began the year strong, reaching the finals of the Australian Open. This was the first hard-court Grand Slam final for Nadal, but Federer was undefeated in 8 hard-court finals. The final was a long and high-quality match, with Nadal prevailing in another epic 5-set match. Federer rebounded against Nadal at the Madrid Masters, defeating him in the final in straight sets. This was a pivotal match because it broke Nadal's 5-match winning streak against Federer. The victory by Federer also ended Nadal's 33-match winning streak on clay and foreshadowed the Swiss' historic victory at Roland Garros, which completed his career Grand Slam. 2010. In 2010, Federer and Nadal played twice, with Nadal winning the first and Federer winning the second match. The two met in the final of the Madrid Open, 1 year after their last match, and Nadal defeated Federer in straight sets. Federer and Nadal met in the 2010 ATP World Tour Finals final, marking their third meeting at the year-end championships and their first ever meeting in the finals. Federer continued his indoor dominance against Nadal, winning in 3 sets. This victory gave Federer a record-tying 5th title at the year-end tournament. 2011, Federer and Nadal played 4 singles matches, with Nadal winning the first 3 matches and Federer winning the last match. Their lone doubles match was at the BNP Paribas Open. Federer, partnering with Stanislas Wawrinka, defeated Nadal and Marc-Lar Pez in the semi-finals. In their first singles match of 2011, the two met in the semi-finals of the Miami Masters, where Nadal won in straight sets. They met in the semi-final at the Mutua Madrid Open, and Nadal won in 3 sets. They then met in the finals of the 2011 French Open, their first Grand Slam meeting since the 2009 Australian Open final. Although it was a competitive match, Nadal again defeated Federer in 4 sets to win his 10th major title and 6th French Open crown. Their final meeting of the year came in the round-robin stage of the 2011 ATP World Tour Finals. Their match, a rematch of the previous year's final, saw Federer win a lopsided match in straight sets. 2012. Federer and Nadal first met during 2012 in the semi-finals of the 2012 Australian Open. Nadal improved his hard-court record over Federer with a win in 4 sets. They next met in the semi-finals of the Indian Wells Masters, where Federer won the match in straight sets en route to claiming his 4th Indian Wells Masters title. In August 2012, Nadal revealed his doubt that he would be able to play in the 2012 US Open because of a knee injury which had prevented him from playing since Wimbledon. Federer expressed concern for Nadal, and Nadal ultimately withdrew. 2013, Federer and Nadal met 4 times in 2013 with Nadal prevailing on every occasion. Federer and Nadal met for the first time during the quarter-finals of the Indian Wells Masters. It is the earliest the pair have met in a tournament since 2004. Federer entered the match having suffered a back injury in the previous round and was defeated in straight sets. On April 1, by winning the Miami Masters, Andy Murray passed Federer in the ATP rankings for second place. This marked the first time since November 10, 2003, that neither Federer nor Nadal was ranked in the ATP Top 2, a span of an unprecedented 490 weeks. Nadal then defeated Federer in the 2013 Rome Masters final in 2 sets. they finally played a match at the 2013 Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati, where Nadal unseated the five-time champion in the quarter-finals after Federer played a dazzling first set with crisply struck ground strokes. At several points Federer had openings in Nadal's service games in the second set, including a 0-30 chance, but Nadal came back to win in 3 sets. Nadal and Federer met in semi-finals of the 2013 ATP World Tour Finals in the O2 Arena. Nadal beat Federer in straight sets. 2014, Federer and Nadal had their first meeting of the season in the semi-finals of the Australian Open. Nadal won in straight sets, but went on to lose the final to another Swiss Dan Wawrinka. Analysis: significant aspects. The rivalry between Federer and Nadal has been a huge part of both men's careers. Their Grand Slam histories are of particular interest, especially their all-time record of 8 finals encounters. This includes playing French Open and Wimbledon finals for 3 consecutive years, culminating in what is widely considered the greatest match in tennis history at Wimbledon 2008. Nadal, who had to defeat Federer during each of his first 6 Grand Slam title runs, possesses a 6-2 advantage in their finals encounters plus 3 victories in semi-finals. Nadal denied Federer a career Grand Slam plus 2 potential calendar year Grand Slams by defeating him at the French Open every year from 2005-08. Federer would complete a career Grand Slam by winning the French title in 2009 after Nadal was upset in the 4th round. Meanwhile, Federer twice denied Nadal from becoming the first man since Paragraph RN Borg in 1980 to win the Channel Slam by defeating him in their first 2 Wimbledon finals, but Nadal succeeded the following year. This was the first of 3 combined Channel Slams, with Federer accomplishing it in 2009 followed by Nadal's second in 2010. Federer has also prevented Nadal from winning the year-end championships by defeating him in the 2010 finals and eliminating Nadal from the tournament in the 2006 semi-finals and the 2007 semi-finals, preventing Nadal from becoming only the second man after Andre Agassi to win a career Grand Slam, a gold singles Olympic medal, and the year-end championships, a distinction dubbed as a career Super Slam by Sports Illustrated. Their record 6 consecutive calendar years atop the rankings from 2005-10 was due to their unprecedented combined performance in the Grand Slam and Masters Series tournaments. During this span they captured a combined record 21 of the 24 Grand Slam titles, including a record 11 consecutive titles from 2005-07. They also dominated the Masters Series, combining for 31 of the 54 titles, including 8 of 9 in 2005. Additionally, Federer won 4 of 6 year-end tournaments. Finally, both men not only possess Open-era records for consecutive wins on a single surface Federer on both grass and hard courts, Nadal on clay courts but each of these streaks was broken by the other man. Their respective dominance on grass and clay was the impetus for the Battle of Surfaces, an exhibition match on a half-grass, half-clay court, which Nadal won in May 2007 when both the grass and clay streaks were still active. Nearly half of the meetings between Federer and Nadal have come on clay, which is statistically Nadal's best surface and one of Federer's weaker surfaces. Head-to-head tallies: the following is a breakdown of their head-to-head results. All matches, Nadal, 23-10, all finals, Nadal, 14-6, Grand Slam matches, Nadal, 9-2, Australian Open, Nadal, 3-0, French Open, Nadal, 5-0, Wimbledon, Federer, 2-1, US Open, have not met. Grand Slam finals, Nadal, 6-2, Tennis Masters Cup ATP World Tour Finals matches, Federer, 4-1, Tennis Masters Cup ATP World Tour Finals Federer, 1-0. ATP Masters Series ATP World Tour Masters 1000 matches, Nadal, 12-4, ATP Masters Series ATP World Tour Masters 1000 Finals, Nadal, 7-3, ATP World Tour 500/ATP International Series Gold matches, Nadal, 1-0, ATP World Tour 500/ATP International Series Gold Finals, Nadal, 1-0. Best of 5 set matches, Nadal, 12-3, 5-set matches, Nadal, 3-2. Best of 3-set matches, Nadal, 12-7, outdoor courts, Nadal, 22-6, indoor courts, Federer, 4-1, results on each court surface, clay courts, Nadal, 13-2, hard courts, Nadal, 9-6, outdoor, Nadal, 8-2, indoor, Federer, 4-1. Grass courts, Federer, 2-1, clay, Nadal and Federer have played 15 of their 33 matches on clay, with Nadal holding a 13-2 advantage over Federer. From 2005 to 2008, Nadal won every French Open, defeating Federer in each of those tournaments, and won at least 2 of the 3 Clay Masters events each year from 2005 to Euro 2010, defeating Federer in 6 of those. Statistically, Nadal has the highest win percentage on clay of any player in ATP history. As a result, some analysts and players, such as Pat Cash and Conchita Martinez, consider Nadal the greatest clay court player ever. Nadal has won all of their 7 meetings in best-of-5-set matches on clay. Grass, Federer has won the Wimbledon Championships 7 times, and Nadal has won the championships twice. 5 of Federer's titles were consecutive titles, and the 6th and 7th titles were won in 2009 and 2012. Nadal won the title in 2008 and 2010. Federer and Nadal met in 3 consecutive Wimbledon finals from 2006 to 2008. Federer won the first 2 finals, while Nadal won the last one. The 2008 Wimbledon final has been lauded as the greatest match ever by many longtime tennis analysts. Hard, Nadal and Federer have played 15 matches on hard courts, with Nadal holding a 9-6 lead. An important distinction is the relative success of the 2 players on indoor and outdoor hard courts. In the former, Federer leads Nadal with a 4-1 record, while on outdoor hard courts, Nadal leads 8-2. The quicker conditions of the indoor hard courts fit Federer's style, while the variable nature of outdoor ones favor Nadal. Federer has defeated Nadal in 4 out of 5 encounters they have had at the year-end championships, including the 2010 final, which are played on indoor hard courts. Federer has won 9 hard-court Grand Slam tournaments and 6 year-end championships, plus a record 5 wins at the Cincinnati Masters. Nadal has won a number of important hard-court tournaments since 2005, including the 2008 Olympics singles tournament, 3 Grand Slam tournaments including the 2009 Australian Open final over Federer, and 8 Masters Series tournaments. Despite Nadal's success on hard courts, some analysts have criticized his lack of consistency in reaching tournament finals for skewing the overall head-to-head results. However, on 5 occasions at the US Open, the 2 players were only 1 match away from doing battle against each other. Twice it was Nadal who failed to set up the meeting, whereas Federer has lost 3 times before reaching another long-awaited clash with Nadal. The 3 times that Nadal did make the US Open final, Federer was not there to oppose him. Nadal has said that Federer is the favorite on these kinds of surfaces, but, out of their first 4 matches, 3 were on hard courts, with Nadal winning 2 of these. Skill comparisons: Federer is considered by some to be one of the greatest tennis players of all time, while Nadal's performance on clay has prompted many experts to regard him as the greatest clay court player and one of the best tennis players of all time. Given Nadal's superior head-to-head record against Federer, analysts increasingly recognize that Nadal is naturally a bad matchup for Federer. Federer himself admitted after his defeat by Nadal in the 2014 Australian Open that he has to change his natural style of play to compete against Nadal. Tony Nadal, coach of Nadal throughout his career, confessed that Nadal is the most difficult opponent for Federer, with Nadal's best shot naturally giving Nadal an advantage against Federer's weakest shot. Federer has been more successful than Nadal on fast courts because he hits a flatter forehand and has a faster serve. Indoor hard courts are one of the faster surfaces, so Federer's flatter shots there result in a lower bouncing, faster moving trajectory. Thus, Nadal's top spin is less effective on fast courts such as indoor hard courts, but is the most effective on slow courts, such as clay. Nadal has improved his serving speed and placement over the years, but Federer still serves faster on average and earns more aces and service winners, while Nadal has an overall stronger ground stroke game. While Nadal is statistically weaker on hard courts, Nadal has won on hard courts at the 2008 Summer Olympics, the Australian Open, the US Open, and at various Masters Series tournaments. In addition, Nadal has won Wimbledon, played on grass courts, twice. During interviews, people like fellow player Andy Murray and former player and coach Paul Annacone have called Nadal one of the best tennis players ever. In November 2010, former player Paragraph RN Borg said that Federer is the greatest player, but Rafa has the chance to be the greatest player if he stays healthy. John McEnroe said, "There is an argument to be made that Rafael Nadal may be the greatest player eventually, even possibly now." In response to a question posed by a journalist at the 2010 French Open regarding whether Nadal is better than Federer, Nadal replied, "I think this person don't know nothing about tennis." The journalist asked why, and Nadal told the journalist, "So you don't know nothing about tennis? You see the titles of him and you see the titles of me? It's no comparison." So that's the answer. It's difficult to compare Roger with me now, because he has 16 Grand Slams. I have 6. Masters 1000, yeah, I have more than him. But for the rest of the things, the records of Roger is very, very almost impossible to improve. At the press conference following his 9th record French Open win in 2014 and a total of 14 slams, 3 shy of Roger's 17, Nadal said that he really does not care much about records. "I'll follow my own path. Then, when my career is over, then we'll count." In May 2014, 8-time Grand Slam champion Andre Agassi told Singaporean Euro unregistered trademark Straits Times newspaper, via AlJazeera.com, a Euro OEIA Euro unregistered trademark D put Nadal number 1 and Federer number 2, a Euro OE. Federer separated himself from the field for 4 years. He separated himself from Andy Roddick and Lleyton Hewitt. Nadal had to deal with Federer, Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray in the golden age of tennis. He has done what he has done, and hey, Euro unregistered trademark S not done yet, a Euro OE. He has won multiple, every single one except the Australian Open, a Euro, and give him another year on that, a Euro. Agassi said. A Euro OEITA Euro unregistered trademark S, just remarkable to me what he has done, and he has done it all during Federer. A Euro unregistered trademark S prime, a Euro relationship and competitive dynamic. Both Federer and Nadal's personal and professional relationship is good-natured and gracious. Though they are both highly competitive, they maintain a healthy regard for each other and have had virtually no source of personal animosity. The two have made slight criticisms of one another in the past, nevertheless. For example, Federer complained of Nadal's slow, deliberate style of play on the eve of the 2008 Wimbledon final. Nadal criticized Federer before the 2012 Australian Open for his failure to be more vocal about players' grievances on issues such as scheduling and prize money. He subsequently apologized for making his views public, however, and both players maintained that they still enjoyed a good relationship. Despite their cordial relationship, both men have a somewhat different attitude towards their rivalry. When Federer was securely atop the tennis world, he was ambivalent towards the notion of a rivalry with an opponent 5 years younger than himself. But after their memorable 2008 Wimbledon final, he had no choice but to acknowledge its significance, even admitting it definitely becomes more and more special the more times we play against each other. A few weeks later, after Nadal had officially surpassed him in the rankings, Federer offered this compliment: "Look at what he had to achieve to get it. That's what I like to see." Nadal has always cherished the rivalry because he looks up to Federer as both a role model and a measuring stick for success. When interest in their rivalry increased, both Federer and Nadal collaborated to arrange occasional charity exhibition matches to benefit their charities' philanthropic interests. The most recent was the Match for Africa, played on December 21, 2010 in Zurich, Switzerland, which Federer won, and a follow-up match played in Madrid on the following day, titled Joining Forces for the Benefit of Children, which Nadal won. Cultural impact. The rivalry has also increased overall interest in tennis. The highly anticipated 2008 Wimbledon final drew strong television ratings for tennis in both the US and across Europe. The match was also featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated, which was the first time in years that tennis had made the cover of Sports Illustrated. Pairing Federer and Nadal, significant achievements, from the 2003 Wimbledon Championships to the 2011 French Open. Federer and Nadal have won an unprecedented 26 out of 32 Grand Slam titles. In this time, both men have also completed the career Grand Slam. From Nadal's first Grand Slam victory at the 2005 French Open until the 2011 French Open, Federer and Nadal had won 22 of 25 Grand Slam titles. The exceptions were the 2008 and 2011 Australian Open, won by Novak Djokovic, and the 2009 US Open, won by Juan Martín del Potro. Federer and Nadal are the only number 1 and number 2 pair in the Open era to contest the French Open and Wimbledon men's finals back-to-back in a calendar year. They are also the only pair in the history of tennis to contest both of these finals back-to-back for 3 consecutive years. In the history of tennis, Federer and Nadal are the only pair to face each other in 8 Grand Slam singles finals in the span of 6 years. This broke the previous record of 7 finals set by Bill Tilden and William Johnston. Their match at the 2012 Australian Open also marked a record 10th time 2 players had faced each other in Grand Slam men's singles matches, tying with the record set by John McEnroe and Ivan Lendl. This record has now been surpassed by Federer-Djokovic when they met for the 11th time in a Grand Slam at the 2012 Wimbledon semi-finals. Federer and Nadal are the only number 1 and number 2 pair to win 11 consecutive Grand Slam singles tournaments between them. In this period, Federer won 3 consecutive titles at both Wimbledon and the US Open and 2 consecutive titles at the Australian Open, while Nadal won 3 consecutive French Open titles. During the Open era, only 2 pairs of players have played each other in the final of the same Grand Slam singles tournament 3 consecutive years. Becker Edberg and Federer Nadal. Federer and Nadal are the only pair to win at least 4 consecutive finals at 3 different Grand Slams during the same period. From the 2004 Wimbledon Championships to the 2011 French Open, at least one of them appeared in 25 of 28 Grand Slams finals, winning all of them except the 2005 Australian Open, the 2008 Australian Open, the 2011 Australian Open, and the 2009 US Open. Federer and Nadal have combined to win 8 consecutive Wimbledon and 10 consecutive French Open. Federer and Nadal won the French Open, Wimbledon and US Open trio for 4 consecutive years. During the Open era, only 7 pairs of players have met each other in the final of 3 or more different Grand Slams: Lendl Wilander, Becker Lendl, Agassi Sampras, Federer Nadal, Djokovic Nadal, Federer Murray and Djokovic Murray. Of the 4 occasions on which 2 players who have completed career Grand Slams have faced each other at a Grand Slam, 2 have involved Federer and Nadal. The other 2 involved Roy Emerson and Rod Laver. Nadal and Federer had never both been beaten by a third player in Grand Slam finals until the 2009 US Open, when Juan Martín del Potro defeated both Nadal and Federer en route to claiming the title. The only players to ever defeat both Federer and Nadal at any Grand Slam event were Juan Martín del Potro and Novak Djokovic. As of 2013, Federer and Nadal are yet to play a match against each other at the US Open. List of all matches, ATP, Davis Cup, and Grand Slam main draw results included. Singles, Federer Nadal, records, only pair in Open era history to have met 8 times in Grand Slam finals, only pair in Open era history to have met 4 times in finals at one Slam. This rivalry is ranked 8th in terms of matches played in Open era. Doubles, Federer Nadal, exhibitions, Federer Nadal. On November 21, 2006 they played an exhibition match on a hard court in Seoul, South Korea. Federer won 6-3, 3-6, 6-3. On May 2, 2007 they played in the Battle of Surfaces on a hybrid court that was half clay and half grass. This match was held at the Palma Arena in Palma, the capital city of Nadal's native Mallorca. Nadal won 7-5, 4-6, 7-6, 12-10. On December 21, 2010 they played in Zurich, Switzerland on a hard court, a charity tennis match for the Roger Federer Foundation. Federer won 4-6, 6-3, 6-3. He played another exhibition match on December 22, 2010 in Madrid, Spain. Nadal won 7-6, 7-3, 4-6, 6-1. This was a charity tennis match for the Foundation den Rafael Nadal. On January 1, 2011 they played in the final of the knockout exhibition tournament, the Mubadala World Tennis Championship on a hard court. Federer had beaten Tsar Paragraph Delling in the previous round and Nadal had beaten Berdych in the previous round. Nadal won the encounter by a score of 7-6, 7-4, 7-6, 7-3. On March 8, 2011 the two played a set at Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon, USA. Nadal won the charity exhibition 7-5. On December 31, 2011 they played again at Mubadala 2011 Mubadala World Tennis Championship on a hard court, this time for third place. Nadal won again 6-1, 7-5. Performance timeline comparison. Key, won tournament. Or reached final. Semi-final. Quarter-final. Round 4, 3, 2, 1. Competed at a round-robin stage. Lost in qualification round. Absent from tournament event. Played in a Davis Cup zonal group or playoff. Won a bronze, silver or gold medal at the Olympics. A downgraded Masters Series/1000 tournament. Or a tournament that was not held in a given year. To avoid confusion and double counting, these charts are updated either at the conclusion of a tournament, or when the player's participation in the tournament has ended. Bold equals players met during this tournament, by year, 1999 a Euro 2004, 2005 a Euro 2010, 2011 a Euro 2014, by age, 18 a Euro 22, 23 a Euro 27, 28 a Euro 32, 33 a Euro 37, career evolution. Federer and Nadal were born just under 4 years and 10 months apart. Federer's birthday is August 8, 1981, while Nadal's is June 3, 1986. A different viewpoint of their career evolution is offered by taking the season they entered with an age of 17 as starting point, and comparing their accomplishments at the same age. For instance, in 2004, Federer finished the season being 23 years old, having accumulated a career record of 4 major titles and a total of 22 singles titles, and ranked number 1. By comparison, Nadal finished the 2009 season also aged 23, having accumulated 6 major titles and 36 singles titles in total, and ranked number 2. Titles by tournaments played comparison. Another way to view their respective careers and evolution is to look at the progression of titles won by the number of tournaments played to win each of their titles at each level of competition, including Grand Slams, ATP World Tour Masters 1000, ATP World Tour Finals, Olympic Games, ATP World Tour 500 Series, and ATP World Tour 250 Series. For example, Federer won his 14th Grand Slam title at his 40th Grand Slam tournament, while Nadal won his 14th at his 38th Grand Slam tournament. Federer Euro Nadal Grand Slam era, combined singles performance timeline. See also, Big Four, list of tennis rivalries, Djokovic Euro Federer rivalry, Djokovic Euro Nadal rivalry, Murray Euro Nadal rivalry, Federer Euro Murray rivalry, Roger Federer career statistics, list of career achievements by Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal career statistics, list of career achievements by Rafael Nadal, list of Grand Slam men's singles champions, references. External links, article on the Federer and Nadal rivalry at the ATP's official site, head-to-head player details at the ATP's official site, Federer/Nadal, the head-to-head anomaly article on the statistical anomaly of the Federer and Nadal head-to-head, Supermatch 2006 Part 1 of the Seoul match. There are 9 parts which can be found on the side of the video. Battle of the Surfaces highlights.